Living in a daydream. Ooh, such a sweet thing. Life on the big screen. It's such a beautiful scene, yeah.
Welcome back to the kitchen. We're excited to have you here. We are your chefs. I'm Jake Weisler. This is Nate Tian.
Hello, everybody.
Runway Vows, and we are here to cook
English today.
English today. And again, you guys, we have another beautiful one. And by the way, our intro song is also from MUSICBED. So I think a common thing before we roll our plug for MUSICBED is that MUSICBED has such a wide variety.
I love music.
And I was just talking to somebody the other day. Who was it? Someone was wanting to comparing different sites, and they were like, "Oh, it's just for weddings." I was like, "No,
It's not at all.
MUSICBED's so vast." So
I mean, I think their strength is outside weddings.
I agree.
Yeah.
We love them for weddings, but I think they have a huge library outside.
Yeah.
So our intro song, "Life in the Daydream," it's from MUSICBED. It's like
You'll hear it in a
my
sec.
favorite song. So
Yeah.
today's episode is sponsored by them. We love them, and we're excited to have them on the kitchen. You know, as filmmakers, I'd say one of the hardest parts of our job is finding music that really matches the vibe we're going for. I've been down that rabbit hole, hours of searching, only to land on tracks that are, fine, but not perfect, not really what I'm looking for. That's why 5 years ago, we switched to MUSICBED and never looked back. The moment we started using MUSICBED, we realized they're not just another generic licensing platform. They've redefined what music should be for filmmakers because the tracks are authentic, emotional, and made by real artists. I mean, seriously, you can really feel the difference. They've set this insane standard for quality too, and they're very picky about the amount of artists that they accept on their platform. So it's not like you're just sifting through fluff. Everything is highly curated. And their new AI-powered search tool is amazing. I can find the perfect track in minutes instead of hours. So if you're ready to elevate your work and win more clients over, head over to MUSICBED and start your free 14-day trial today. Trust me, it's a total game changer for filmmakers like us. Nathan, today's episode 50.
Jacob, we've almost made it a whole year.
Wild.
Crazy. And we missed a couple episodes, and we're still here.
Wow. Crazy. That our workshop was a year ago, and now we're going to Ireland.
Yeah.
Or we're in Ireland right now.
Yeah. You're hearing this pre-recorded.
Yeah.
We're in
Wow.
Ireland.
Crazy.
What's something the Irish say? We're in
Lassie.
we're in the pubs.
Oi.
We're in the pubs. Pubs.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. Almost. Wow. It's been a journey,
Yeah.
Jacob.
Podcast.
Yeah, this has been fun.
Just a couple of dudes, the podcast.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Today,
Episode 50.
Episode 50 today, we're going to dedicate not towards written by you, not even towards, well, maybe a little bit of education. We hope there's a little bit of education. But there was a recent drama outbreak on TikTok. It kind of got swept under the rug. It wasn't, and I think it's because it wasn't as big as Sepia Gate, but it was still enough to get some heavy views. Okay?
Can I interject really quick? I
Please.
have a question for my ChatGPT assistant.
Yeah,
here.
for Leo.
What percentage of podcasts make it to 50 episodes? And please answer briefly. Thank you.
Only about 20% of podcasts make it to 50 episodes, as many podcasters stop after just a few episodes.
I thought it was going to be a little lower. I was hoping for like
lower as
3.
well. We're the top 80%.
Wow, 1 in 5. I was hoping for like 1 in
Yeah.
a couple hundred. Hey,
Okay, so we're on the top 20%. Sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Nate's drama.
as to the quality of those podcasts, though,
True.
that's the debatable part. So thank you for staying here.
Yeah, so the dress drama.
I don't think there's any. Yeah, we can call it the gate. So let me give a little rundown here. I'm going to try to tell this story as accurately as possible because I feel like not a whole lot of people know about it. Okay.
Which is shocking because it has millions of views, and I didn't know about it
Crazy.
until you showed it to me.
Yeah. So the story goes like this. True story, by the way. 2 names you need to remember. I hope I don't butcher the name of the dress shop. I think it was Kaze. I want to say Kage from
look it up while
Super
you're
Smash.
Kazuya.
Kaze and Rayleigh. Okay. Kaze is the name of the dress shop. Rayleigh is the name of the bride. Okay. So Rayleigh is located in Colorado and Kaze is in Florida. and she is hiring Kaze to make her bridal gown. If you look at their social media, they make beautiful dresses. And so understandably, Rayleigh wanted one of those dresses. She's working with them for a space of who knows how long. I believe it was almost a year, or at least 6 months to get her dress. And they were in February, and they said they were going to have it done by August 10th at the very latest. Her wedding is on, I think, August 21st, I believe. She's working with Kaze, and things start going a little sour right off the bat. She has this idea, and she knows the dress she wants, and she's seen the mock-ups of it, and she flies out to Florida to get a fitting. First fitting is kind of like weird. It wasn't as expected, as she thought it was going to go, but no complaints. A couple months go by. She's going back out to Florida to get her dress fitted, and there's some really bad communication between her and the dress shop. Okay, now I'm going to skip forward a little bit here to the ending of the story, and we're going to go back to how it all unfolded. Okay, it's kind of like that scene from The Other Guys. He's like, maybe the best way to tell a story is start at the end and then go back. So TikTok, one day they woke up to this dress shop, and it's a video. It's a video of this model wearing a beautiful dress. And the text on the video says, "Imagine spending 5 months making this dress for a bride, and she steals it without paying." So naturally, internet does its thing. Everybody is in the comments. This is the video that had over 1 million views.
Sending hate.
Oh
to the
my
bride.
gosh. Absolute hate.
Genuine, malicious hate.
And this is on a Friday. It was posted.
Imagine seeing a TikTok, and if this is you, repent. Seeing a TikTok and thinking, that's annoying. I'm going to go to that person and just say how much I hate them.
Right. Okay. That was posted on a Friday night. That's an important detail. Posted on a Friday night. Everyone goes in the comments overnight.
Not the day of her wedding.
Blows up. Saturday was her wedding. Okay. This is similar. Did you ever hear about that story? I think it was like a news journalist. They posted something on Twitter back when Twitter was popping, and they got on a flight and they were on airplane mode, and their tweet took off, and it was like I don't know if it was like racist or like homophobic or something, but like while they were on a 5-hour flight, it went viral, and by the time they landed, the internet had already like found out who this person was. They knew they were on a flight, and it became a trending hashtag, like when somebody lands. Like, it was crazy how fast the internet made it viral to destroy this person's career. So the bride wakes up on a Saturday, and people know her address. They know her name. They know where she works. She's had people call into her work, the salon she works at, tries to get her canceled.
And her friend salons.
They've written her negative reviews. I could be wrong. I want to say even like threats to her family, like crazy stuff. That's how fast the internet works. Okay. Internet's on the dress shop's side. A few weeks later, Rayleigh, the bride, uploads a video. And this is the one that I sent you. And it was the full explanation of what happened.
4 parts. I
think it was like a
watched all of them.
four-parter.
It's a long watch.
She goes on to say,
Receipts.
with receipts, over the period of this 5 months, there was no communication. The dress shop turned her down when she flew out the second time for that fitting. She showed up. She was in Florida.
Appointments.
She was in Florida for like 3 days.
So unprofessional.
And the last day, right before she flew out, the dress shop was like, "Hey, we can't see you." No word, no communication.
Wrong size.
Yeah, wrong size. The belt wasn't put on.
It was put on, and when it was put on, misaligned. Or the train was
The
misaligned.
backside of it. We'll try to show images.
The boob horn things were
they were
weird,
offset.
Squampus.
They were offset. Yeah. The dress wasn't even close, and this was even 2 days before the dress was supposed to be delivered. This was like August 8th.
That's the crucial detail, is that this is all under contract, and the contract deadlines weren't hit.
Yeah,
that's the big problem.
Yep, it was
everything
6
aside.
months.
The dress owner agreed to a contract, a date. It'll be done by this date. These dates for fittings, and it wasn't met.
And it was a 6 month max.
And she showed the contract.
It was a 3 to 6 month max. The 6 month would have put it at August 10th, which was like 2 weeks before the wedding. And it was like August 8th or 9th, and she finally starts getting communication from the dress shop.
You can hate really all you want for like, why'd you do an out of state vendor? Like all these, like, why didn't you check that? Like, why, whatever, doesn't matter. She hired a vendor, professional vendor, who signed a contract, who didn't meet that contract.
I mean, professional vendor is going to be the debating point here in a sec. Because Rayleigh goes on to show receipts of all these things that happened. It's coming up right like a couple days before her wedding. So they've already gone over the 6-month mark. A couple of days before her wedding, she's getting like blurry videos. She's not answering FaceTime calls to show the dress, nothing. Okay. And so
loses it in FedEx or says she shipped it in FedEx and then she didn't.
She like faked some tracking labels or something to like gaslight the bride into thinking like, oh no, like I'm trying to get it sent out. Yeah.
Wasn't.
No. But before Rayleigh had posted her video explaining it, the dress shop Kaze said as a part of their story, they overnight shipped it because they were worried she wasn't going to get it for her wedding, and she didn't pay for it. And the dress shop owner was going to get on a flight, show up to the wedding, and take the dress. But she never did. She didn't follow up with it. And so that's why people were all rallied up in the comments thinking,
wasn't she going to go?
Who's this bride?
Okay. Yep.
What were you saying?
Nothing.
Yeah, so that was from the dress shop, and that's why people were all pissed off because they were like, oh, this bride just took a dress, didn't pay for it, and then just disappeared.
But she paid half. She paid the deposit.
She had already paid, I think, $4,500
of $6,000 or $6,200.
So it was a 60% deposit.
That's right.
And the dress owner didn't bother disclaiming that. So even if the dress owner was, as it happened to them, if she would have stolen it, she didn't exactly steal. She paid almost $5,000 for it, a good chunk. Okay.
Here's the crucial thing.
Yeah.
The dress owner was also accusing the bride of like using it for her wedding.
Oh yeah.
The bride, it didn't even fit.
Yep.
So the bride went out the day before her wedding and bought a dress that was way different than her style.
But
she looked
close. Great. Yeah, she did.
But she did not even wear the dress on her wedding day.
She had to go out. Yeah, because 2 days before her wedding day, the dress owner said, "Can you fly out to Florida?" And she's like, "No, absolutely not." So she went and bought another dress, and then she got the dress in the mail. Didn't wear it. She still rocked the other dress.
Yeah.
But isn't it funny to see when someone releases something with the receipts, how fast things turn?
Logan Paul's been doing that a lot recently.
What?
Just releasing
showing
receipts. Yeah. It's hilarious. I love it.
Good on him.
I'm so like, I think the internet demands it right now. Misinformation is crazy.
Well,
you have to have receipts.
Imagine being the bride though. Probably the hardest pill to swallow if I was her was that the dress that she wanted existed, because the video that was posted was the dress, but it was on a model and it was perfect. It was beautiful. It was stunning. So there was actually a theory out there. This was deep in the comments. I went deep in the comments for this one. Someone said, what if the dress shop owner actually made this for her model friend so she could take videos of it and show it off, but she didn't actually make it for the bride. And she was trying to like untailor it.
Slimy. Interesting theory.
So the theory was that Rayleigh came.
But that's the problem, is that this dress was custom made for that bride's body.
But that's
her body type, her size, like it was made for her.
Well, that's the thing, that the theory is that Rayleigh came in, said, this is the dress I want. The dress shop owner said, okay, I'm going to make it. She made it for her model just to show off how beautiful it would be instead of making it for the bride.
Interesting idea.
And then kind of like
slimy company
trying to untailor it to.
I have a hard time attacking the bridal shop because I don't want to sound like the people who attacked the bride the first go around. But I'm also like, I think we now have both sides. We both have the receipts, and the venue or the bride shop was in the wrong.
And a lot of people have come out since and said they also got scammed by this dress shop.
Interesting.
But it's hard because you go down the dress shop's page.
Sometimes it's just Karen's.
Sometimes, yeah. You go down their page and she has done good work for other weddings. Like there were some really pretty weddings. So it's just like, what are we not? Yeah. What was it just a terrible experience?
So what's the solution here?
I mean, judging by what happened, the dress shop removed their video. They removed everything. I think they know.
I think that shows that you're in the wrong.
I think that shows. Even though they had way more views and way more traction, them taking crucial part we didn't even talk about. The dress shop owner started a GoFundMe.
Oh my gosh, this is the part that killed me.
When they posted it and it went viral, they started a GoFundMe, and I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe it was for the full price of the dress, even though the bride had already paid almost $5,000, 60% of the dress. So that right there is very slimy to me.
She probably hit that number pretty quick too,
Yep,
and she keeps the money.
I think so.
And everyone who paid her is just a sucker.
I don't know how that all panned out, but she took down the GoFundMe. I don't know how that works.
Wow.
That right there raises some red flags to be like, okay, I think I'm
gross.
Team Rayleigh here instead of the dress.
Absolutely.
But I don't know. The GoFundMe was a weird part.
Yeah.
But why didn't this go as big as Sepia Gate? Why are we so worried about colors?
I think it is. I think CPO is because everyone can have an opinion on it.
Yeah,
When someone has receipts,
That's true.
You feel pretty stupid to argue for the dress company when you're arguing against receipts.
Right.
It's easy if it's like a style thing and you can have these ethics discussions. So I think CPO could attract a bigger audience. But I think the dress thing, it's like everyone just felt stupid. And when you feel stupid about something that you were supporting, you just want to ignore it and act like you never did it. Like all of us. Well, yeah. I think all of us, how we handled 2020, I think we all kind of look back and like laugh. Everyone does on both sides of whatever
How we
party.
handled.
Like just like we all just didn't know how we reacted to it, and so now we're all kind of. I think Joe Rogan said it's like people who like rode bikes with training wheels, and you act like you never did, but we all did it. You know what I mean? But you don't want to talk about it. I think that's how it feels like when you were so hateful towards somebody and you were saying malicious things to that person, and then they post receipts, and you were the one in the wrong, defending somebody who clearly scammed them. You just want it to go away. So you stop engaging. That's the only way you can win social media right now is if you stop engaging.
And something similar to Sepia Gate here is that the bride, she's now famous because there was so much traction. Negative traction at first, but now
I bet her
everyone's
salon's
team.
popping up.
Yeah, salon is probably popping off.
Yeah.
I don't think she's handled it like Sepia Gate bride like made her whole TikTok about what happened to her. I think she's kind of like back to like normal life and just trying to live her life normally.
But the CP photographer, she blew up.
Did she?
Oh yeah, she got so much love.
I bet she's got a ton of inquiries.
People were posting weeks after saying I use the sepia bride and look at these dope photos.
I did see those.
There was like a few weeks of just they all went to go hire her.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I hope Rayleigh gets the same
I
love.
hope Rayleigh does.
I hope
yeah.
her selling,
I
and I hope
does.
her friends receive retribution for the hate they received.
Yeah, one thought I had while reading this story and watching it unfold was, I understand hiring outside vendors. We're outside vendors. A dress kind of seems scary to me. I don't know why.
It does, especially the month of your wedding. I feel like everything should be taken care of. You should have your dress a little bit sooner in case.
Yeah. So yeah,
And a plan in place. What if it arrives and it has a hole in it?
I know.
Or there's a split? Like, what do you have to have a local.
Right.
And if it's custom jewelry, you can't have like a seamstress just come over.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm never gonna buy a dress. So.
I bought one for myself once.
So Jake bought a dress.
It's for Nate, actually. Nate requested me
I did not.
to be in a
I
dress.
did not request
It's kind
a
of
dress.
this thing he's been image he's had of me for a while.
Yeah, I've just
wanted
been
to play
thinking
out.
about that for a long time. Jake bought a dress for our first
Not my
look.
proudest Amazon order history moment, but what was I
made
gonna
for a good
say?
time.
I did want to go on a slight little rant about
Please.
social media real quick. I'm really sick. Sepia was first. Sepia is annoying because the bride didn't really get any repercussions. There was never a verdict. It was just divisive.
How do you
Exactly.
How do you?
Even though the bride was clearly in the wrong because she hired a photographer with a style and didn't like the style she got.
Yeah.
Anyway, the dress is more obvious, but my issue with social media right now is that you can say whatever you want, as controversial as possible, do damage, and then take it back. But the damage is done.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a horrible culture to
Yeah.
have. You can do whatever you want, attack somebody, spread lies, hate, and then if you get proven wrong, just be like,
Whoops.
delete it.
Yeah.
But you can't take back the damage you do to these people. That just bothers me.
Yeah. Who was it? Mike Tyson said like people are just comfortable because we don't know what it's like to just say something and get punched in the face for it.
Yeah.
No one knows what it feels like.
Yeah.
You would have a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Social media is it is what we make it.
Yeah.
It's not good or bad, just neutral. But unfortunately, it's that 1% that just is so loud.
It
They
is.
just spend all their time on there.
Yeah.
But like, imagine something I really liked about Rayleigh though, and how she handled it is like she posted, I believe, weeks later and said like, "Sorry, I've been quiet. I've been trying to enjoy life as a newlywed." Because just imagine you wake up on Saturday and you have all these things coming at you, just like blowing up your phone. Like it's hard to focus on your wedding if that's happening.
Yeah.
And I respect that she's kind of like
so
turned
happy after your wedding, just honeymooning and just in love and just it's finally us. The wedding planning's over. Should be the most stress-free time of your life.
But instead, someone deliberately, like she deliberately posted on a Friday night before their wedding. She could
Lies
just
too.
Lies.
Yeah.
She could have just waited
Yeah.
till Sunday or something. But she posted on Friday.
But also a crucial reason to have a wedding planner again, like someone to go to bat for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
To eye the contract, hold them accountable, handle the flights, and like you shouldn't be dealing with that. You shouldn't be talking to your seamstress
Yet
the week
another
of your
reason.
wedding.
Yep.
Like it's just, and everyone's always asked like, oh, it's an extra. You know, some of these people on TikTok, it's like, oh, it's like $5K for wedding planner or $15K or, you know, obviously we know more, but I'm just like, you know what? After all the events we've been to, might be the most worth purchase.
It might, yeah.
To have somebody remove that whole thing from your plate.
Yeah. I agree.
Obviously, it depends on the scope of your wedding, but she was doing a pretty custom wedding, so
She was.
I think it would have benefited from saving some, you know, spending the money to save the headache.
I like it. Well, I think we're going to move on to the pass, Jacob.
I have a pass for you, and then I want you
You
to
have
pass
a pass
me.
for me. Okay.
What do you hate most about videographers?
What do I hate most about videographers? Wow. Coming straight out of here. What do I hate most about
And
videographers?
name their names.
I think hate's a very strong word.
I mean hate.
Sorry, Mom.
Loathe entirely.
Man, it's almost Grinch season. The
Adam
thing,
Marvin, who
the thing that I dislike most about videographers
hates this about these people?
is I feel like sometimes there's this attitude that we are the greatest vendor in the room.
Something to hate for sure.
Yeah. And I mean, it's important to keep perspective here. It wasn't until I feel like just recently where wedding videography was like a pretty widely accepted thing for people to have at their weddings. We've always been kind of seen as a
luxury.
A luxury, but also kind of like a secondary thing. Like think back to...
Yanni, sorry.
You're good. You didn't have a lot of sleep last night.
Go on.
New father.
Yeah, you'll see.
Guys, if you don't know, Jake's new father.
She's perfect.
Yeah, we've always been seen as either a luxury or secondary. Photographer comes first. Absolutely photographer. But I would even say like, even during COVID, I heard about a lot of couples who just wouldn't get a videographer because like they had 20 people limit. Videographer didn't make the cut. So they had someone just take it with their iPhone. And so just in the recent years, I feel like we're kind of catching up. Like, yeah, wedding videography, you need a videographer. You need to be able to relive the actual moments, the speeches, the movement, the emotion, all that. And with that has come this kind of superiority complex of, look at all this gear I have. My gear is worth so much more than the photographer's. Like, look how much I have. Look at all this process. Editing is so much harder. We can't watch Netflix while we edit. Like, just kind of like we're better. We're better than anyone. Yeah. And so with that, like, we need to be paid more than the photographer. And
an ego problem.
It is an ego problem. And I think it's important to put everything in perspective here.
Photographers have egos too. Yeah, there are some. But
there
I
are
think
some.
Generalizing here.
Generalizing here. Yeah. While I do agree that, you know, sometimes we work a wedding, I think we should be being paid more than the photographer. Sometimes, absolutely.
Wow.
Sometimes, okay.
Yeah,
but
I'm joking.
It's just like, kind of know your place as the vendor, as the video, like you're the videographer. Like,
just be a team player.
Here's the planner. Planner's up here. Couples up here. Photographers up here. We're kind of like
team player.
Be a team player. Yeah. Don't try to put anyone down. Just work with others. I'd say that's probably what I don't like about videographers. And it is pretty. Sorry, I guess I'm going on a little bit of a rant here. It is. I see it a lot in Facebook groups. Drives me crazy. You get on, it's like, hey, I just shot a wedding with this photographer, this DJ, or this person. And it's just like almost every single time we can say, you should have done this. It's not their job.
Every time.
It's not. If this podcast has shown anything, when people submit a story expecting for us to be like, yeah, you're validated.
Screw that vendor.
No, it's most of the time they're just doing their job. And the problem was because you thought they had to cater to you.
Yeah.
And I just don't
Entitlement
think.
complex.
Yeah.
Ego problem. I like that. I agree.
What's yours?
I agree.
Okay.
Actually.
Okay.
Yeah, if I was going to boil it down, it'd be the ego problem.
Yeah.
And that's not me projecting either. Because I feel like I'm a very humble vendor.
Yeah, you are a humble
I
vendor.
like to think that I walk into a scene and we are not the most important person there.
No. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Like, it's totally fine.
I think humility is a great strength at these events.
Yeah.
And there have been times where we know we're the highest paid vendor in the room.
Mm-hmm.
We've been told that by people.
Yeah.
And it doesn't change anything. It doesn't change our process or our attitude towards people.
Do your job. Be a team player.
And I hate when people like are mean to us with egos and
Right.
they see our following and it's more than them by a little bit and they're all of a sudden nice to us. That's just projecting their own insecurities. It bothers me too. Yeah.
So I always got the pleasure of seeing this happen in real time. So Jake has a large following, as many of you know, and many of you have made that happen. And what is truly hilarious is we would go, this was before Runaway Vows. I would show up and I would be shooting for Jake, and we would be working with like, you know, maybe a vendor isn't treating us very well. It's like
or just kind of like
usually it was a photographer.
passive towards us.
Usually it was
Yeah.
a photographer who wasn't working with us. They didn't want to collaborate.
They don't want to talk.
It wasn't going as far as that photographer we talked about a couple weeks ago.
It wasn't like hostile. It was just like they
No.
didn't care.
They didn't care that we were there.
They weren't wanting me to. We were trying to be friendly. They weren't being friendly.
It felt like they thought this is kind of like the opposite ego. They were the photographer. They're the most important, or they were the so-and-so.
Didn't want us to get our shots. Didn't care about our shots.
And so pretty much in any wedding, still to this day, we always, you know, we tried to like, you know, swap Insta handles or something. Hey, what's your Instagram? I want to give you a follow. So back then, when the time
I would whip it out.
when the time arose, like Jake was looking for the chance to humble them in his own humble way, I guess.
in the most egotistical way I could possibly do.
He fought fire with fire. I'd
I
say.
know these people. I know they care about followers.
Oh,
I know
100%.
it. And
Yeah.
I didn't. I don't.
Yeah. So he fought fire with fire. And so when the time came, he's like, hey, you know, what's your Instagram? I love working with you, you know? And I'm just sitting there
Hated
just
working
like,
with
oh
him.
gosh, here it goes. Here it goes. And they're like, yeah, my Instagram is this and this. And they're like, what's yours? Oh yeah, Jake Weiser Films. Just followed you. And I would watch it unfold in real time. They're both standing facing each other with their phones out. And they just like see the follow and they see 70,000 followers on Instagram. And they're just like, their demeanor just changed. And after that, it was always like, oh my gosh, I love your work. And then it
They
was
want to take
always,
story pictures with us.
oh my
and get
gosh,
reposts.
story pictures.
And then
like,
I would be hostile towards them the rest of the night.
oh my gosh, let's take a boomerang, guys. Like, this has been so fun.
How about you back up?
And they were the easiest people to work with after that.
Yeah,
It was
they
just
were.
like, wow, you just wanted the clout. So that was always funny. That was always
Which
fun.
it was, yeah. It made it a fun night, but then I also kind of got annoyed at the same exact
Yeah.
time. Like, why did it take that for you?
right.
to be nice
It's
to
just
me?
I just set aside the ego. We're all trying to do the same thing.
It's like those guys who have you seen that prank? They walking on the street and they hit on a girl.
Polite
and the girl,
cat.
no, and the girl says no, and then they buy a Lamborghini, and the girl says no because they
Oh,
look
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
they
yeah.
look kind of rough. I'm like, all right, and they get in their Lamborghini, and she
Yeah.
walks back. Wait, are you famous?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they're interested in him.
I have seen
Is that?
those.
It's what it feels like. It's
I
just
have
like,
seen those. Yeah.
why do you care?
It shouldn't matter.
Yeah. Anyway,
Drop the ego.
what was your pass?
Let's just do it next week.
Great.
Keep it short and sweet.
You guys, thanks for listening. This is episode 50. Thank you for making 50 episodes happen. That's really cool. 50 more is on the way. Next 50, who knows where we'll be? Who knows?
Who knows?
All right, you guys. See you next week.